It's time to predict our first New Year's Six bowl game. And it's going to be a classic between number 9 Missouri and number 7 Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl. So welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, guys. Ready to break down this epic battle between the Tigers and the Buckeyes. As always, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. And of course, check out everything down in the description below, including those expert picks, that holiday special there for you, giving you every single college football bowl game spread pick and every single NFL playoff spread pick as well. One of the lowest prices in the country for some of the best picks in the country, being out over 80% of the national handicappers each of the last 5 years. And by season's end, it will be 6. So you do not want to miss out, guys. Never too late to sign up. Never too early to sign up. Do not miss out. Become a member of our GE Nation. So let's take a look, guys. I'm excited. When we get to this point of the year, I am pumped to start talking about New Year's Six bowl games, the playoff games, and we start getting into some of the better bowl matchups of this postseason. This is certainly going to be one of them. A surprising Missouri team, 10-2, first 10-win season since 2014, playing in their first ever New Year's Six bowl game, taking on an Ohio State team that's 11-1, but did not find themselves back in the college football playoff. You know, we're 11-1 last year, snuck in as that 4 seed last year, but because the playoff race was so tight this year, the 11-1 was still not good enough to get them in. The lone loss to Michigan in the season finale. And for many, another disappointing year under Ryan Day. No Big Ten championship, no college football playoff, so no national championship. Cotton Bowl's not bad, New Year's Six Bowl's not bad, but it's not what Ohio State wants. What will the motivation be like for the Buckeyes in the Cotton Bowl? We take a look at both sides of the ball here. We'll start on offense with Missouri. This is an extremely efficient and dangerous offense for the Tigers. And a major reason for their success is the new offensive coordinator. Kirby Moore has been phenomenal in his first year with the Tigers. And look, they've got what I like to call the big three for Missouri. Starts with Brady Cook, who had a phenomenal year with the Tigers, over 3,100 yards and 20 touchdowns. Also added over 250 rushing yards and 8 touchdowns, so 28 total touchdowns for Brady Cook. Kind of was up and down in 2022, took a major leap forward in 2023. Cody Schrader, one of the best running backs in the nation, over 1,400 rushing yards and 13 touchdowns on the year, averaging 6 yards per carry. And then Luther Burden, nearly 1,200 reception yards and 8 touchdowns. This Missouri team was averaging nearly 275 passing yards per game. They were averaging 169 rushing yards per game, over 34 points per game. They were only held to under 30 points twice this year. Once in a weird game against Middle Tennessee earlier in the year, and then the other on the road in Athens, where they took Georgia all the way down to the wire. Really hung with the Bulldogs for the entirety of the game. So this Missouri team knows how to score, they know how to move the ball, and they know how to do it with ease. Ohio State, on the other hand, you look at their offense, guys. At the time of this video, we have, again, time of this video, that is very key. There are a lot of questions on both sides of the ball for the Buckeyes when it comes to opt-outs and guys transferring out of the program. Who's going to even play in the Cotton Bowl for Ohio State? Right now, we do know Kyle McCord is off to Syracuse. The starting quarterback for the Buckeyes pretty much all year long is gone. Going to Syracuse. Who would have thought, right? It looks like the Buckeyes are going to rely on Devin Brown, who found himself in that quarterback battle with McCord back in the preseason, lost out on the starting job. Brown just 22 attempts on the year. But what weapons will he have? We know Emeka Egbuka announced that he has intentions to play in the Cotton Bowl. So that's huge, right? But what about Marvin Harrison Jr.? Over 1,200 reception yards and 14 touchdowns. Many projecting him to be a top 3 NFL draft pick. But NIL money, very enticing for him to stick around in Columbus for another year. What about their running back in Travion Henderson? What about their number 2 pass catcher and tight end Cade Stover, who has over 570 yards and 5 touchdowns on the year? Ohio State, if all these guys choose to opt out or transfer, whatever their decision may be, Ohio State could be down 3 of their top 4 pass catchers and their top 2 rushers and their starting quarterback. That's a given from all year long. This is going to look like nothing like the offense that we've seen all year, where Ohio State was averaging over 32 points per game, over 280 passing yards per game, and over 142 rushing yards per game. It's going to be a skeleton crew of an offense, and that does not bode well for Ohio State going up against a pretty solid Missouri defense that is going to be at full strength. It's going to be excited to be here. The only guy that's going to be out for Missouri is their star cornerback, Ennis Rakestraw, and their number 2 tackler and linebacker, Tyron Hopper. Those are the only 2 guys that are out due to injuries, right? This is a team that was giving up only 347 yards per game, 222 through the air, 124 on the ground. And to me, that's the key number here, is Missouri's stingy rushing defense, giving up less than 125 rushing yards per game. If Ohio State is down Travion Henderson, they're down their top 2 rushers, and they have to rely solely on Devin Brown to win the game through the air. Is he capable of that? I believe he is. I do. But if Missouri can shut down the run and make Ohio State one-dimensional and force Devin Brown, who only has 22 attempts on the year, to win the game without 3 of his top 4 pass catchers, that's going to be a very, very tall task for Brown and for this entire Ohio State offense. And that's what Missouri's got to do. Missouri's got to find a way, even if the guys do play, even if Marvin Harrison Jr. and the running backs do play, you've got to find a way to force Ohio State to be one-dimensional. Missouri's got to find a way to shut down the run and force Ohio State to win the game through the air, and they just got to hope that they don't have those weapons on the outside. The Tigers have 35 sacks on the year. They have forced 18 turnovers. Let me tell you, if they can force 1 or 2 off of Devin Brown, Tigers are going to be looking in pretty dang good shape. But here's the flip side. Ohio State's defense is one of the best in the entire country. Actually is the best in the entire country against the pass, giving up just 147.5 passing yards per game. But who's playing on that side of the ball? Ohio State, a lot of questions on the defensive side. We know a few prospects have announced they will play in this game, which is huge, but jury's still out on a couple of key players, again, at the time of this video, such as their safety in Josh Proctor, their sack leader in JT Tuimoloau. They have their leading tackler in Tommy Eichenberg. Jury's still out on him. This is a team that has 22 sacks, only forced 11 turnovers, so Ohio State really not flashy in terms of like the big defensive plays, but they don't allow many big plays at all. They're not really forcing many turnovers, forcing many tackles for a loss, forcing many sacks or anything like that, because they're just not allowing many yards, period. This is the number 3 overall defense, giving up just 260 yards per game. We mentioned they're number 1 in the country against the pass. They're only giving up 112.5 rushing yards per game. That's huge, going up against one of the better running backs in the country in Cody Schrader. So this is, again, a very, very tough matchup for Missouri. Ohio State, even without those starters that we just mentioned, even if they don't play, Ohio State's still going to have I would actually argue they will have the defensive advantage here. Just won't be nearly as strong as we've seen them all year long. Keep in mind, guys, this is an Ohio State team that the most passing yards they've allowed all year was 204 to Western Kentucky. That's the only time all year long they've allowed over 200 passing yards. This secondary is absolutely ridiculous. So Missouri finds themselves in a very tough spot here. It's like, look, if Brady Cook can't get anything going against this strong secondary, they're going to need Cody Schrader to have a big day. Well, Ohio State's rushing defense is absolutely phenomenal, giving up less than 115 yards per game. So it's going to be a tough battle. I would not be surprised to see this be a relatively low-scoring game. Missouri struggling to move the ball against Ohio State's defense, and Ohio State's skeleton crew of an offense struggling to move the ball against Missouri's strong defense. This does not have the makings to me of being a giant shootout and where maybe either of these teams gets into the 30s. But the million-dollar question is, who wins it? Who wins the game? And as of this video, basing this knowledge on the fact that a lot of these Ohio State guys will opt out, I'm going to pick Missouri. If we find out closer to time that, hey, Marvin Harrison Jr. and Travion Henderson, these defensive stars are playing, I'm switching to Ohio State. That's how big of a difference that these players will make in the game for me. But assuming that they are out of this game, I am picking Missouri. The Tigers are hyped. They are motivated. You look at Ohio State, they're down on themselves. Another year, no national championship, no playoff. This is a meaningless bowl game for Ohio State, where this is Missouri's Super Bowl, 10-2, an opportunity to win a New Year's Six bowl game against a top 10 opponent, maybe have a top 5, top 6 finish in the rankings. First New Year's Six bowl game ever, clinch an 11-win season. The motivation, the excitement, the energy is there for Missouri, maybe less so for Ohio State. That's a major role when it comes into these bowl games. And for that reason, I am picking the Tigers. Give me Missouri at this moment to win the Cotton Bowl. What a job by Eli Drinkwitz. And while he continues to win, while he continues to just dominate on the recruiting trail, Missouri, guys, I don't think is going anywhere anytime soon. This was not a one-hit wonder for the Tigers. They will be back. Something is brewing very special in Columbia. Missouri gets the win over Ohio State as they are left searching for more answers heading into 2024. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and of course, check out everything down in the description below, including those expert picks, that holiday special. It's never too late to sign up. You do not want to miss out. Go sign up and become a member of our GE Nation. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.
Yeah.